Picture a crowded beach. The sun is shining, tourists are walking the shoreline, and devotees are gathering around a traditional Hindu shrine, offering prayers in the open air. But within hours, the ocean surges forward. The water rises rapidly, swallowing the stone structure completely. Soon, all that remains visible is a single flag. This is the Stambeshwar Mahadev Temple. It sits on the shores of the Arabian Sea, near Bharuch in Gujarat. The physical stone structure here is around 150 years old, but it doesn't stay put. Twice a day, every single day, it disappears beneath the waves for 6 hours. For the millions of pilgrims who travel here, this disappearing act is a profound spiritual event. For hydrologists looking at the exact same waters, it is simply a matter of physics. To understand how this Gayab Mandir, or disappearing temple, actually works, we have to look at it through two very different lenses: ancient Hindu mythology and extreme coastal geography. According to ancient Hindu texts known as the Skanda Purana, this original shrine was established by Lord Kartikeya, the god of war. The texts describe Kartikeya leading the gods in a massive battle to defeat a destructive demon named Tarkasur. But Tarkasur was also a deeply devoted follower of Lord Shiva. Even in victory, Kartikeya felt an overwhelming guilt for killing a true devotee and built this coastal shrine as an act of penance. Because of this specific history, the rituals here break from tradition. Instead of pouring milk over the inner sanctum's shivaling, as you would find at most Shiva temples, visitors here offer mustard oil. And when the ocean waters inevitably rush in to cover the shirring, the devotees on the beach don't panic. They view the rising tide as nature itself stepping in to perform an ongoing divine ritual. In this framework, the water isn't a geological hazard at all. The daily drowning of the temple is an intentional act of purification and repentance. As you look at a map, you see a different story. The temple sits at a very specific point on the coastline, right at the mouth of the Gulf of Khambat. This gulf has a unique funnel-shaped geography. When the monsoonal ocean currents push inward, all that water gets squeezed into a narrower and narrower space. With nowhere to go horizontally, the water is forced aggressively upward. This animated chart maps out the exact numbers. The tidal range along this coast fluctuates wildly, swinging between 8.96 and 13.33 meters. That creates a massive average shift of 10.7 meters every single day. To put that in perspective, the highest tides on Earth occur in Canada's Bay of Fundy, which reach up to 16 meters. The Gulf of Khambat experiences some of the most extreme tidal shifts anywhere on the planet. This constant cycle leaves a very real physical footprint. When the extreme tide recedes, the temple sanctum is left filled with a full foot of heavy sea sand and thousands of liters of seawater that naturally wash out the interior. The temple's disappearing act relies entirely on the precise shape of the Gujarati coastline. It is a highly localized, extreme hydrological event operating like clockwork. When human engineers build near water, the standard approach is to fight the ocean. We construct massive concrete seawalls and deploy heavy barriers to hold the tide back. But the design of Stambeshwar Mahadev does the exact opposite. There are no barricades here. The structure was built to completely surrender to the force of the ocean, allowing the water to pass right through it. When the tide finally pulls away, it reveals a freshly washed stone floor. Pilgrims wade straight into the receding surf, chanting Har Har Mahadev as the temple slowly emerges into the sunlight. At this specific set of coordinates, the geography perfectly fulfills the mythology. The extreme tide acts like a giant invisible priest, pouring thousands of gallons of water over the shivling in a natural Jal Abhishek, or water offering. Whether you view it through the data of a hydrological anomaly or the faith of a divine text, the Gayab Mandir offers a quiet lesson. Sometimes, instead of fighting the overwhelming forces of nature, letting them wash over you is the most powerful act of all.